All right, so the update is finally live, and so all right, let's look at this. So there's a few things that are. I'm gonna start with the good, right? There's a few things that are here. We have the new chapter event. This is basically a long-standing event that unlocks these different stages as you complete the actual story chapter. So there's a story chapter and then this event that ties into it. And with that, there's also these extra mission rewards and freebies. As you see, there's some gems, some other stuff in here. Some gacha tickets are in there. Quite a lot. It's something that should take you a while to do. Like one of the conditions was log in, I think 7 days or something like that. So it's just a separate way to gain extra freebies, and that'll stack on top of the ones that you're going to get from completing the actual main story chapter 4 event that is live there, featuring Kikoru and featuring Chester. There's also a new fierce battle where both of these characters, yes, both of them in a moment, are actually featured as damage increase characters. Doesn't matter much, probably, if it's like last time where we had, who was it? I think it was the previous two characters, right? They didn't really do anything there special or anything that was necessary. There's character stories for both of them, which, some freebies let you know a little bit more about the characters. Also, trial battles, same things. So, I beat around the bush. This is interesting. We have a festival. Okay, so this company, Akatsuki, is no slouch to festivals. They've done many festivals on Dokkan Battle over the 10, 11 years the game's been out. So this is our first look at the way this is handled on Kaiju No. 8. So first thing, there are 2 separate gachas with individual characters in there. And not only is that a Kikoru, that is a game original Kikoru using her father's numbers weapon, which is super cool. And here's Chester, who is cool probably, but I don't know because I haven't played the story yet. So one thing they said pre-game, and I had said this in several videos, we saw it actually when Sagan released. They released her alongside an Ashuro. It just wasn't a new Ashuro. Is that they would be launching these characters that are original alongside other characters. Because let's be honest, most people don't really care about the Chesters of the world. They would more so care about a Kikoru. Now, this is them doing 2 types of originals because they've got a full-on 100% original character and then a reimagined character in Kikoru here. So they're doing both. But wait, there's more. So Kikoru actually is a character that has, she's an attack character. She's got the weapon. Both characters have new weapons. And so you're summoning on both gachas. And they both are in here as well, by the way, in the pickup. You're summoning on both gachas to get these characters. Now, the perk is there's actually a free multi in here. That's kind of spicy. Now, don't get confused. To this day, I'm still going back and forth with people about this game's rates. The game has an 8% overall pull rate. It has a normal 1.1%, 1% pull rate for the new character. That is standard. The 8% is not. That's higher than average. What that means, however, is you will get a lot of fluff. So if you do a bunch of summons and you get a bunch of stuff that's not what you wanted, that's just how it's designed. Now, if you are in a position where you could claim a character for free, that may be a good decision, considering, I don't know, there's 2 of them here. Now, my final thing to this is, what the hell does that mean for limited characters? If limited characters are basically limited characters are just limited just for the sake of being limited, which scares the living crap out of me. Everyone was wondering if we were going to get a new limited, this and that. They're basically limited just to be limited, because Sagan is going to turn around and be on another banner, and she'll be limited at some point. By the way, is Chester limited? No, he's also a festival. So what's happening with these characters after this? Are they going to be limited technically? They're probably also limited, I bet, to where they disappear until they come back. Let's see. Please note, blah, blah, blah. You cannot earn pickup medals. Related story. Pickup gacha details. The items available for exchange, blah, 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 blah. When you obtain a character you already own, obtaining weapons. Okay, here we go. The availability period and content are subject to change without prior notice. Pickup characters and weapons may be available again or on the pickup in the future gacha shops, etc. That's not what I'm looking for, though. It's not saying the exact thing that, like, the other banners are saying. Oh, no, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. The characters and weapons listed above are scheduled to appear in future pickups. Okay, so that's, of course, as soon as I find it breaks. So that is the determining factor. Let me fix this. So that's the difference there. Limited characters are quite literally limited in the sense they're just not going to get put on, while even the festival characters are going into the pickup gacha pool. Now, don't get that confused with the general pool. We don't know if and or when they will update the general pool. But the pickup gacha pool is a thing, and that's happening there. On the side, I'm also downloading the Steam version so I can get this going, man, because I am so ready to play on Steam now. Give me back my stupid mouse, bro. It, like, stole my mouse. Okay, cool. Let me see if I can fix this. I don't know. Anyway, it's all right. So, I want to go through the characters really quick. So, a thing about these characters is that they also have a couple of options. Unlike Sagan, we're going to keep on throwing this at Sagan until it's no longer the case. Eventually, it won't be the case. But until it isn't, we're going to keep throwing this at Sagan. They have other options, right? Another 800 for 5 million download celebration, okay? Cool. We're going to keep throwing it at Sagan, though, that they don't have any, she doesn't have any other options, but these characters do. Now, I'd have to look at the other gauntlets, which I probably should have done. To determine their usefulness for Kikoru, because she's an attacker character, unlike her father. So there's that. Let's see Kikoru, though, in action here. Dude, she looks so cool in the numbers weapon outfit. All right. This is also kind of funny. This is maybe why she's here, because they didn't want to drop numbers weapon for Kikoru like a few days ago, right? Or a week ago, whenever the hell the episode was. Anyway, they didn't want to do that, but still wanted a Kikoru to tie in. I'm sure that's the logic here, because they want to probably save that for the next season, for this stuff they can coincide with whenever that happens. There may be 2 Kikorus in a short span of like a couple episodes, man. Maybe they just skipped the first Kikoru. I don't know. Anyway, so let's see her dupes firstly. After activating the ultimate, applies a ultimate damage multiplier plus 130 for 3 turns. Hold on. Firstly, why is this first passive a freaking book? Are we really already starting the every character's a book phase? Oh, God. End me now. End me now. End me now. This does not apply if an ultimate damage multiplier buff is already applied by this effect. Okay. After performing a normal attack while in inheritance state, advances this unit's next action order. Okay, so that first dupe scene's cracked as hell. While in inheritance state, this unit's normal attack damage multiplier goes up and combat skill multiplier goes up. So she's, all right, so she, just off the rip, she looks like she's trying to rival our boy Hoshina as a DPS, which makes sense. I said Hoshina is a problem because they're going to try to do characters that rival him. At the start of the wave, has a 150% base chance to apply effect resistance down to all kaiju, just as a passive. That's interesting. After activating the ultimate, applies ultimate damage multiplier plus 130 for 3 turns to this unit. This does not apply if the ultimate damage multiplier is in effect. Wait. Oh, no wonder. That was a 6th passive. I didn't realize I accidentally clicked the 6th passive. I was like, why is the first passive a book? Okay, that was a 6th passive. Okay, so her actual first passive, my bad. After attacking a kaiju that already has a debuff, applies blunt damage plus 20% for 1 turn to this. Okay, so that's much more normal. I was like, bro, what is happening here? She did not wind up being lightning. I was like, she's totally going to be lightning. Okay. After activating the ultimate, applies inheritance for 3 turns to this unit. Inheritance is this unit's ultimate gauge charge rate goes up by 100%. Oh, she just... that's not a full 100% gauge. It's a rate up, so it's going to be 100% more on top. That's actually really strong, though. After activating her ultimate, she'll get another one really fast. After activating a normal, has a 65% base chance to apply defense down. Oh, that's kind of cracked. For 2 turns? Yeah, that's cracked. Okay, so this Kikoru is already a must summon. Because the defense down. We have defense down on a couple of characters. It's just not the most feasible thing to get. In fact, there's a Kikoru that does it on her ultimate. You just have to wait for it. She could put it on the normal attack. That's kind of crazy. Is that only when Inheritance is activated, though? I believe that's an effect of Inheritance. Anyway, still super strong. After activating combat skill, has a 65% base chance to apply defense down for 2 turns. Okay, so she does it on the combat too with Inheritance. So she's always going to be doing that. Oh, man. She is going to hit like a truck, dude. I already know she's going to hit so hard. This is all maxed out numbers as well. Obviously, they're much lower at lower levels. Deals blunt penetration damage. She's got penetration damage? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. She is going to hit so hard. Why are we power creeping already? Like, ridiculous power creep, too. This plus defense down is hilarious. Okay. So she's got that on her follow-up, so she's going to hit really hard there. Her ultimate is her main driver, like most other characters. Deals blunt penetration damage equal to 181% of this unit's attack to a single kaiju, and then also hits adjacent kaiju. It'll fix in a moment. After attacking, has a 65% base chance to apply defense down. She applies defense down on everything. Okay. Her combat skill. Please fix really quick. I'll read it out while it's loading. Deals blunt damage equal to 142% of this unit's attack to a single kaiju. Deals blunt damage equal to 72% of this unit's attack to adjacent kaiju. After attacking, has a base chance to apply 16% to the target. Deals blunt damage there. Does she have effect resistance up? Or effect hit rate up? Increases this unit's damage dealt by an amount equal to 100% of effect hit rate. Plus maximum 80%. I was just talking about that effect, and it comes into play here. It's got to be in one of these passives. At the start of the battle, she gets plus a... She starts with a freaking ultimate? Dude, can you stop breaking? She starts with an ultimate. At the start of the battle, this unit's gauge goes up by 300. That's the limit. Okay, let me fix this. It's stupid right now. So that's crazy. She starts with an ultimate just off the rip. And so she's going to throw that ultimate. And then after activating the ultimate, she gets Inheritance for 3 turns. Wow. Okay. Her last passive after activating the ultimate gets an attack increase for 2 turns. Wow, that's kind of crazy. And that passive in here where she gets the effect hit rate up is really strong. Oh, this one, res down. This one is low key. It may not be the best one, but it's definitely the second best one. The 6th one is probably the best one. But this, she does so much debuffing, speed and defense everywhere that this is damn near vital. I'm not going that hard on her, but this is damn near vital. Like you don't need it. You could also see this is where Ihiru could come into play if you're an Ihiru stan, right? Because doesn't he have effect rate for characters? But you know what I will be doing? That middle unit part, it's gonna have effect hit rate up as well. You kind of just have to have that. But that's really strong because you don't want to miss those debuffs. That's really strong. Also, I need to see. I have never had the chance to really stack defense downs because it's just so sporadic in the game. I wonder if it stacks. It probably stacks. Other stuff stacks. Oh, her weapon increases effect hit rate. Holy crap. Okay. Yeah, you're not using any other weapon but hers. Not optimally, anyway. When attacking a kaiju that already has a debuff, the equipped unit's blunt damage goes up. After the equipped unit destroys a kaiju plate, it applies an attack increase. Okay, short and sweet. But, yeah, I'm pretty positive there's not another gauntlet that compares to that one. Actually... the only other gauntlet is what? The Battle Pass one, right? Right? Like, that's the only other gauntlet. I was talking like she had like 5 options. She doesn't really have 5 options. Interesting. So, yeah. Let's look at Chester. I'll look at the weapon first in the case of Chester. He's a support character. 5-star supporter. First supporter, right? 5-star? Because isn't Isao a defender? It's like first 5-star supporter, right? Same for Sagan. Anyway, attack up. After the equipped unit activates a normal attack, applies attack plus 25%, which, by the way, means he's probably going to directly power creep like all the support 4-stars we use. So he's going to be nuts. Normal attack, plus 25% for 2 turns to the equipped unit. Okay. After the equipped unit activates a combat skill, increases damage dealt by 9% for 3 turns to all other allies. Dupes in this thing are going to be crazy. Dupes in this thing are going to be nuts. Okay, let's check out Chester. So let's read his passive again. This time, click the first one on purpose. While an ally is in field ops state, their damage dealt goes up. Oh, so he's got a passive effect for allies. He puts allies in. Is there a visual effect to that? That'd be really cool. After activating ultimate, applies defense penetration to all. Okay, so this is... Okay, yeah. So he's already the best supporter in the game. Like, I don't even need to read his kit. He's already the best supporter in the game. He's already the best supporter. And he's going to be ridiculous with Kikoru. Okay. All right. After receiving an attack, applies defense plus 20% for 2 turns and damage taken reduction to this unit. Last one, turn duration of damage dealt buff applied by ultimate goes up by 1, and additional damage multiplier caused by passive skill goes up, okay, by 50%. Jesus Christ, how much is he buffing these dudes? After activating the combat skill or ultimate, applies field ops for 1 turn to all other allies. Field ops is after attacking, deals shot damage. Okay, deals shot damage equal to 16.5 of the user's attack to the target. Okay. So he's not really buffing them with this. It just goes up by 50, by the way, which is crazy. This isn't really a buff skill. It's just an extra chip damage skill. And it's shot type damage equal to 16% of the user's attack. Okay. That's interesting, though. Getting that extra damage in is going to be nice. Shot damage equal to 77%. Ultimate applies damage dealt for 2 turns, crit rate for 2 turns, and advances all other characters' action. This is this is quite literally Rio power creep. Actually, they probably go nuts together. This is quite literally Rio power creep. Okay. All right. So the combat applies wit and courage for 3 turns to this unit. After turn arrives, turn duration of wit and courage goes down by 1. Wit and courage is it increases all other allies' attack. The amount of attack increase is equal to 19.2% of this unit's attack upon application. Interesting. He buffs their attack by 19% of his own attack. That's such an indiscriminate number. But I'm sure there's a cap on that, obviously. Even if you fully build him, invest in all the right unit, it doesn't matter. There's a cap to that, of course, because his attack can only get so high. But does this scale? Like this should scale like with other like somebody like Rio, right? Who attack increases. Like this, they seem like such a perfect pair. Oh my God, him and Rio seems like they go perfect together. At the start of the battle, advances his next action order by 25%. While in Wit and Courage state, this unit's damage dealt goes up, okay? After activating a normal attack, this unit's ultimate gauge goes up. That's kind of nuts. Yeah, he's quite literally Rio 2.0. Interesting. All-arounder, huh? Okay. That's funny. And he uses a rifle. So the modest summon choice would be to summon for Chester. Here's the deal. I'm sure most people are going to pull for Kikoru, and I can understand that logic. But I can make a really strong case that he's going to be super powerful, and he's going to be the character that ages better, all those things, just because those characters that are mainly DPS characters that don't have a ton of utility kind of fall off. However, the thing with Kikoru is she does have utility. She's debuffing. It's not the same thing as Hoshina, who wants to just hit like a nuke. Which, by the way, I'm like thinking about it. Maybe it's not Rio, but a team like of Kikoru, Hoshina, Chester, and Rio may be the strongest team in the entire game right now. There is probably not a piece of content that lives to that. Frankly, there's no content that lives to anything, but, you know. Maybe Fierce Battle will surprise us. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you happen to be new for more content. I'll be doing some summons next.